Hello, happy Tuesday. I am going to read about Mars today out of the Cosmic Numerology book by Jen King. And yeah, let's go. Mars is named for the Roman god of war, who creates bloodshed and whose symbols are the shield and spear. The Romans named the planet after Mars because its rusty red color reminded them of blood. It is often referred to as the Red Planet and can be seen shining in the night sky like a large red star. The color of this planet speaks of passion. Aggression, strength, confidence, power, and energy are all associated with Mars. And this planet has a big presence both physically and metaphysically. Mars governs the dynamic active principle, and this relates to ambition, motivation, willpower, bravery, moving forward, questing, competing, and perseverance. Mars always finishes what it starts, preferably ahead of the field, too. Determination is a big Martian theme, as is setting a direction and heading into it. There are also aspects of the active principle that are challenging, such as recklessness, impulsiveness, and being quick to fire up. Oh, feeling that. The soil of Mars is rich in iron, as is human blood, which is where the many associations of Mars with the body and blood have gathered weight. Mars is considered the planet of surgery and represents our vital force, lifeblood, sex drive, creating bloodlines, and the circulation of blood around our body. Interesting. Although small in size, Mars is a solid and lively planet, complete with seasons, rugged and wild desert terrain, polar ice caps, and changing weather. Although it is dry, dusty, and cold now, astronomers have uncovered evidence that suggests Mars used to be much warmer, with active volcanoes and water. Martian terrain is now deep red like rust and is deemed currently inactive and supporting no life. Other than Earth, Mars is the most scientifically studied of all the planets, and the Mars 2020 Perseverance mission by NASA recorded the first audio of the planet's sounds. Very cool. All right. So I am going to do a reading now. I was very, very, very called to use this deck and only this deck. Okay, well, I paused it because I was hoping it was going to be under 3 minutes so that I could upload it to Instagram with no problems. But yeah, anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started here. So I'm going to shuffle these. All right, here we go. Spirit, what is the message that wants to come through from the shadow realm? Oh, I did want to mention part of the reason I was called to use these cards is because Mars entered into Scorpio yesterday, and Mars is at home in Scorpio, and Scorpio is all about depth, and we've got Mars that's all about action, and so it's kind of we're being called to go deeper. We're being called to listen to what we're feeling on deeper levels, beneath the surface level of things, and go where that is guiding us, or follow where that is guiding us. Maybe we're closing the door on some energy, huh? Okay, I don't know if you guys heard that, but someone just slammed both of these doors, which is unnecessary. Anyway, all right, so let's go here. I think I already did that, but we're gonna reset anyway. Spirit, what is the message that wants to come through for us today from this deck? With Mars and Scorpio and this energy of Mars on this Tuesday. I've been feeling very restless, which is very much Mars energy, right? But I also have been feeling like this need to sit still. And I feel like it's because I sense this energy coming of this really fast moving energy that is coming through, and I think I feel the need to like release it. And so hence the deep, very deep cleansing breath. And yeah, maybe you're in the same space. Maybe you are also feeling like you just need to be patient, and maybe, but you sense something coming also, and so you're excited for it. I also feel with that Mars energy, like determination and assertiveness are important here. And so if you are being called somewhere, don't say no to it. Go to it. And yeah, just follow that intuition. Listen to that deep calling within. That's that Mars and Scorpio energy I'm feeling. Okay, let's start here. We've got the 7 of Coins. And that's kind of what I've been talking about, that persevering, that I know you've been waiting. I know you've been waiting, but it's coming, and you've planted the seeds, and now you're just like waiting for them to grow and or to flourish and be harvested, right? And we just entered, along with this Mars and Scorpio energy, we entered into Libra season yesterday, into the fall equinox or the autumn equinox, right? And so, well, not entered into we experienced the autumn equinox, and I know I've been saying it, that like that sit still and just be patient. And trust me, I have not been good with patience. I've learned very much that this lifetime for me is very much about experiencing what patience really means and why it's a virtue. And so I heard from another reader and actually oracle deck creator, her name's Kara. I can't recall her channel, otherwise I would share it exactly. But anyway, she mentioned that patience isn't waiting. Patience is knowing, and it is allowing the stillness and being grateful for that space as things come into alignment, because of the fact that you knew. Because it's waiting, you just are like hoping that something's going to happen, but patience, the difference between patience and waiting is the knowing. Because when you're hoping for something, yeah, like it's great that you're hoping for something, and that's definitely a step in the right direction for sure. That's where I hold a lot of space also, to be honest. But trust and patience, which are very Sagittarian vibes, and I know we're talking about Mars today, but I'm a Sagittarian moon, and so trust and believe and patience, the temperance in that is what is aligning for you, and that's what is going to align us to that highest timeline for ourselves, that biggest space that's closest to the space where all of our hopes, dreams, and wonders are kept, the miracles, everything. And we're already in that, but that's why it's important for us to continue to trust and believe and be patient, because that's the key. Okay. Ooh, that was a big message from one card. No wonder no cards were wanting to come out. So what are we being patient for? I don't know that the universe wants to reveal. Let's see. Okay, wait. Oh, 4 of Cups. Okay, I actually thought this was the 4 of Pentacles at first. Oh, wait. Let me read okay. let me get this thought out and then we'll go back. So I said, what is the universe? I don't even remember what I asked, but my what I got from this is it's already being handed to you. You just need to sit still enough to hear it. Oof, that speaks. That definitely is speaking to me. All right, so 7 of coins. Let me read that one. And then we'll read, then we'll go back to the 4 of cups. Okay, 7 of coins. Patience, ripening, fruits, harvesting. Okay, there we go. That's the first page that I'm going to be reading here. You can screenshot that. And then that one is the second. All right. Okay, so patience, ripening fruits, harvesting. I'm going to hold this up while I read it just so that, I don't know, sometimes it's helpful. Okay. Waiting. Patiently waiting for my crops to flourish and my fruits to ripen. I've been tending to my gardens and forests to keep them as healthy as ever. I share the love and abundance I already have with them. Then I wait with eagerness for the seeds to flourish. Oh my gosh. Isn't it wonderful though? Can't you see? So many of my seeds are already flourishing, some already reaching into the heavens. They get more delicious in flavor and vitality with each growing moment. You are about to reap the rewards of all your patience. Your manifestations are about to present themselves. You are receiving genuine gifts of the earth. Stop. Smell the roses. Really. Then smell them again and again. Can't you see now? Even more flourishing. The more you see, the more you reap. Enjoy the fruits of all your intentioned magic. What a beautiful card. I know I'm in a different space when I'm seeing, I think, okay, so I've pulled the 7 of coins before, or the 7 of pentacles before, right, in other decks. And honestly, this is not my quote-unquote prettiest deck. It is really beautiful, but it's certainly not my prettiest. But I feel the energy of this is so beautiful and is so... I'm just so great. Wow. Just, If this is also your energy, thank you for sharing it with me because it's so beautiful. Okay. Well. Okay, I tend to cry. So that's like a indicator for me usually is that overwhelming heart space that just has my heart overflowing, literally out of my eyes. Okay, speaking of overflowing hearts, when I think of the 4 of Cups from the traditional deck, there's 3 cups in front of the person, and there's one coming out from like the hand of God offering, or the hand of the universe saying, you know, I wish I knew what that song was because I feel like it meant something. But anyway, I do feel that speed that we were kind of talking about, like just this energy that like something is coming. But anyway, back. So I feel like it's not just coming, it's already been here. And if we just take the time to stop worrying about these cups and allow ourselves to receive from the universe. But that comes from a space of stillness, I think. Because, okay, oh yeah, so I just like paused, right, as that loudness, as that motorcycle busting or blaring its music. Wow, I don't know how to talk. Blaring its music was going by, right? And yeah, so what I was said in the beginning when I first pulled that Four of Cups was like, the universe is already handing it to you. You just have to sit still enough and in the silence enough, long enough to hear it or to see it or to feel it or just to know it. But I feel it because this is the, the cups. So let's go ahead and read this Four of Cups. Oops, I had switched to the Four of Coins. I'm so silly. Maybe if the Four of Coins comes out, I don't know what to say. All right. Okay. Let me show you these really quick so you can screenshot them if you'd like. And this one. Okay. Introspection, contemplation, emotion. I sit focused on my own thoughts, emotions, and internal experience. I am here to explore my heart, but this is something I find challenging to connect to at times. I gaze at a candle, hoping it will help me go inward. It does. I need to see the gifts of my heart, the love within my soul. If I keep missing this part of myself, I'll continue missing opportunities presenting themselves to me. I didn't hold this up, I'm sorry. Now is as critical time as ever for my awareness to shift beyond the mortal realm and fall into the mystical. This is your moment to drink from a new cup. Reevaluation of your mortal and mystical worlds will help you in obtaining clarity of opportunities trying to push their way into your field. You must be open and mindful to receive the magic that is coming your way. Right now, you've been missing out. It's time to stop that. I'm here to remind you that this challenge may be solved simply by gazing at a candle and going within. Maybe that is what I will be doing after this, because I definitely am feeling that call to go in and just really listen. And because honestly, I'm so grateful for everything where I'm at right now. Truly grateful. I'm really happy, and that feels so good, right? That being said, I also am because I'm sensing that energy, it's pulling me out of this now moment. And I feel like this is what this is asking for us, is to be here, be now. Even this card, right? Yeah, he's waiting, but what is how is he waiting? He's standing there. He's being there with his crops, with his his plants, his seeds, his creations. Beautiful. Okay. Sorry. I can't get over the skyline, honestly. Like, how pretty is that? If you follow me already, you know. I love the skyline. Okay. Let's get one more card. Oh, we got two. Three. Two? Three. Okay. Okay. Yeah, and this is advice. So we've got the Eight of Swords. We've got the Five of Coins. Okay. Yeah. And we've got the Knight of Coins. So this is a very, very, very clear message to me. With the Eight of Swords on top, I'm feeling like, and not just feeling, well, no, yes. Okay, sorry, let me get back. With the Eight of Coins on top, sorry, the Eight of Swords, this is a card of mental entrapment of your own doing. You're trapped. You can get out at any moment. You just have to allow yourself to. So I feel like in this space of patience and needing to wait and needing to be still, it does invite our minds to start going, right? And I've done it too. And that's why I think I sat down here, because of the fact that my mind has been running. And tarot, for me, I'm not saying for everybody, isn't predictive. It's grounding. It's mindful. It's bringing me into a very specific moment of now, where I am not focused on any which way or anything else but this and this moment. So, okay, back to that Eight of Swords. Yes, I feel like that stillness has invited, or not invited, sorry, has allowed for unwelcomed guests to enter into our thoughts. And it's very important to understand that those are the that's like the preconditioned life that we've led. The thought that we can't be still, the thought that we can't, that if we're not moving, if we're not being productive. Oh my gosh, on this day of Mars, I've been, wow, oh my gosh. Okay. On this day of Mars, this energy of determination, of persistence, of moving forward, of going for it, of doing the thing. And we are being called to stay still. And why? Why? Because we because it's about balancing that energy of being able to know when to move and know when to stay. Right? Being able to give, but also to allow. When we're feeling this need to go and go and go, that's what's creating. So, okay, back to this. That thought that we always have to be living in that space of go, go, go of our Mars. I mean, there's other luminaries and planets, right, in our charts that we take notice of, and like the sun and the moon, our Venus sign, our Mercury, like all of these things wrap into each other. So anyway, my point is that it's important for us to balance all of that out. And this is how we do it in this patience, in this waiting. We recognize when to let ourselves calm down, let ourselves be still if we really listen. And remind ourselves that this is not how it has to be. We don't always have to. And that's another thing. And then going with this Five of Coins. With this Five of Coins, I'm feeling like, and it with this is like, if you don't do all of the things, if you don't keep going and make progress every single day, if you sit still then nothing's happening. But that's not the truth. So much happens beneath the surface. Again to the Mars and Scorpio reference. So much is happening beneath the surface, under our subconscious, or in the subconscious, in our dreams, in that space of shadow and darkness that we aren't consciously aware of. So that's why it is important, and that's why it's just important to sit still, even in these times where we're feeling this need to move. If you can't, it's one thing to want to be called to move somewhere. It's another thing to move somewhere because you can't sit still. And it's important to discern the two and learn the difference within yourself. It's not easy. Anyway, again with this 5 of coins though, it's been making me feel like you're not worth it. Like back to this, like it's this the first two of being patient, of being still. These thoughts of like you need to get rid of the thoughts that this isn't happening for you. That because it, like even though you're feeling it, but nothing's like showing up in your physical space, that nothing's happening. It is, and it's just taking its time with this Knight of Coins. It's coming in slowly. And that's because and now this ties back into my reading yesterday, kind of actually, about entering into your legacy timeline. Because that's what the Pentacles is, right? The journey to the 10, like this Knight is on the journey to the 10 of Pentacles, to that legacy. And you don't build a legacy overnight. You don't, you don't go from rags to riches overnight. But I do feel like that is where you're headed. If you get yourself out of that space of thought that that's where you are in the first place, because you're not. You're here in this beautiful space of patience and waiting, and not waiting, sorry, but like of knowing in your waiting, you know? All right, and what do we have at the bottom of the deck here? Oh, we have the 2 of Swords. So I feel like paired with that 4 of Cups, like this is, okay, so the 2 of Swords is like a procrastination energy. And that's what we do, right? Do you ever have a certain task that you realize you don't want to do? So you start to do every other task but that task. That is what this energy is, I have to sit still. I know I have to sit still, but I don't want to sit still. I feel like too antsy. I feel like I want to move. I feel like I want to do this. I feel like I want to talk to that person. I want to do this. I want to go here. Don't avoid it anymore. Don't avoid the stillness. Don't avoid the shadows. Don't avoid that space, because it is so beautiful. It is so beautiful when you dive in and you uncover this power within yourself that you didn't realize that you had, because other people kept telling you that it wasn't something, that it wasn't powerful, or that it wasn't your power, that it wasn't something to hold in that space and that mindset, that is a powerful thing to have. That 5 of, that doesn't have the worth of that power, right? Okay. All right. I'm not going to read all 3 of those, but I am going to read the 2 of Swords. I'm really digging this. Thank you so much for letting me share this with you. Okay. Balance, conflict, resolution. I am the paradox of conflict and balance. My thoughts and emotions find themselves tangled at times. There's a sense of comfort in the chaos around me, as it mirrors the frustrations of indecision that that enrages. I'm realizing right now that my brain did not read any of those words. Like, just I was somewhere else while reading those words, so I'm going to restart that. I'm sorry. Okay. Two of Swords, balance, conflict, resolution. I am the paradox of conflict and balance. My thoughts and emotions find themselves tangled at times. There's a sense of comfort in the chaos around me as it mirrors the frustrations of indecision that enrages the space of my mind. Yes. Each chain and web and vein represents a dilemma I'm forced to navigate. The dilemmas in my mind oftentimes seem like they may never go to sleep, but that's not true because they certainly do. It is in my heart I find that spacious place of equilibrium and resolution. You need to learn the difference between the voice of your mind and the voice of your heart. Discern when to allow each one to lead you. If you don't do this correctly, you will find yourself in greater conflict. But don't worry, even if you falter and get lost in the disarray of conflict, resolution will soon come through. Your heart won't let you stray away from it for too long. Notice the voice of conflict. Notice the voice of resolution. Then find the perfect way for them to dance together. You can do this. I'll watch over you as you do. Oh my gosh, that is yet another beautiful message. Oh, I honestly was not expecting such beautiful messages from this deck. Oh my goodness. Okay. So I do feel like that goes, back to that indecision that I was mentioning of like, okay, and it's not so much that it's not so much indecision that I feel so much as unknowing. Like you know that something is coming, or maybe it's that indecision of like, do I want to go quiet? Do I want to go silent? Do I want to go within? Or do I want to stay here where it's nice and comfy in my little world of, surface level things, I guess. I don't know. Okay, let's go on to sexual magic. Yeah, I don't think I've ever pulled from this deck, ever. But definitely was giving me the Mars energy today that I was looking for. All right, Spirit, please give us one oracle card with a message to share or to ponder on. What is the message that wants to come through? Ooh, okay. Well, yeah, that's not all happening. That was like way too many. Okay. Well, actually, let's see what we had. Oh, on the bottom of the deck, we have healing. Pisces energy. And we've got interesting, some of these have like moons. Some of them have like a little sun. Okay, well, so I'm feeling feminine energy from this one. I feel like, okay, so, I was talking to someone recently about how we were like, it feels like the feminine has been working super hard at healing. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to, like, that you are a woman or a female or some, whatever. It just means that we all have this divine feminine and masculine energy within ourselves. And anyway, I feel like we've all been healing that space very much. Okay. Okay, so we have chemistry as our card. and they're cooking, which honestly makes me think of not necessarily Mars, but it does make me think of Aries, because my mom's an Aries moon and she loves to cook. I know a couple of Aries friends who are very, very, very into cooking. So I don't know. I'm curious actually now if that's an Aries kind of thing. Actually, I know that like cooking or being in the kitchen is usually a Cancer thing, and it like is so lost on me because as a Cancer sun, I absolutely hate the kitchen. Like, hate it. Like, please don't make me go in there. Please don't. And please don't make me cook. Please. Anyway, okay. So I feel like we're cooking up some chemistry here. So let's read what this. I do feel with this, because we've got the number 3 also. It's like this. Oh, and Taurus energy. Taurus. Okay. Now I'm getting Empress vibes. Okay. And we're in Libra season. Okay. Anyway, let's read this. Taurus, solar. 2 hands joined. Oh, here, let me hold it up. 2 hands joined on a spoon, intent on stirring roses, the Venus flower. Reflection. Taurus is the sign of sensuality. The senses are the vehicle of his emotions. Even love passes through the physical to reach the heart. Without a satisfying erotic understanding loses its What is this saying? Without a satisfying erotic understanding loses. Without a satisfying erotic? This doesn't make any sense. These words aren't wording. Okay, well, I'm going to read it and then we'll go back. Without a satisfying erotic understanding loses its security, becoming possessive, hungry love. Good chemistry is a prerequisite for a long-lasting relationship. The magic is to place rose petals in a copper pot and cook them until they reduce to a paste, with which you will form a talisman of fidelity. Interesting. Okay. Not gonna lie, this wasn't. I'm not feeling anything from this. Maybe that's why I've never used it. But it wasn't giving me the Mars energy. Let's see. It really doesn't help. Okay, let me reread it. Taurus is the sign of sensuality. The senses are the vehicle of his emotions. Oh, you know what Taurus does make me think of is that Knight of Pentacles. Even love passes through the physical to reach the heart. I get it. Without a... Okay, we couldn't use all our words, even though we had plenty of space. Sorry. Okay. Taurus is the sign of sensuality. The senses are the vehicle of his emotions. Even love passes through the physical to reach his heart. Without a satisfying erotic understanding, he loses his security, becoming possessive, hungry love. I get it now. Okay, sorry. All of that. I think it's because obviously this was not a sexual message, but this was a sexual deck. And so, okay, my brain was having a hard time reaching from here to here. Anyway, okay, that being said, what I am feeling from this chemistry card is back to that. Okay, yeah. So this is like the Mars energy, right? Is the masculine, and then the feminine is the female, or the Venus energy, right? With the Venus flowers and blah 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 blah. But that being said, being in Libra season, we are balancing the two, and so that it says that it was a prerequisite for like a long-lasting foundation, right? And so that is what we are working towards in this stillness. When we sit with ourselves, when we wait, when we, I keep saying wait, when we're patient, when we sit in knowing, this puts us in a space of allowance so that that energy of the Mars energy can come through, and so that we can now start to co-create with that energy. And so it's saying to experience all the full weight of the process, which means the weight. Wait, WEIGHT. I was about to get mad at myself again. The full weight of the process. And what I mean by that is, like, we talked about the pentacles, and like you planting the seed, and then you watering it and waiting for the sprout, right? And then you wait for the sprout to turn into the plant, and then you wait for the plant to start to flower, right? All of these different things, and all of this call for patience, this call to sit still. And this is also Taurus energy, of that fixed energy of sticking to it, of holding grounded space. So anyway, to wrap it all back up, because I like to sum it up, because I know that I get a little here and there with as these messages come through. But anyway, the message is this: patience is a gift that you are being asked to receive in this moment, through trust and knowing, through trust and self-knowing and self-understanding. And as you sit in your stillness, as you sit in your patience, everything that is in your legacy that you are building towards is starting to align with you and come in. So, instead of feeling the need, or instead of impulsively responding to the surface level tension that you are experiencing, go deeper. Sit still. Sit quiet. Open your mind. And allow for the universe, for God to present this beautiful gift it has, that is actually what you've created for yourself. Wow. Because it's the seed that you planted. And now you are allowing yourself to be in a space of receiving, to be in the space of harvesting through stillness. Wow. Thank you so much for sitting with me in this message today. I know it was a long one. Wow.